Welcome all of you. So this is Anandita and I am going to take up 5 most expected questions from this chapter, tangent properties. Now first I shall be explaining the properties, okay, and we'll be using it in 5 questions which are maybe that question exactly might not come in your exam, but then the types of that are highly probable. So let us do 5 questions, but before that let us know what are tangent properties. Okay, so let's start quickly. Now here, what is a tangent? First, if I have a circle, here is the center. A tangent is a line which passes through this point and it touches the circle only at one point. Now the first property of tangents is that with the radius, the tangent is at P, supposing PT is the tangent, the tangent always makes 90 degree with the radius, okay, at the point of contact. P is the point of contact, OP is the radius, PT is the tangent, and angle OPT is always 90 degree. Let's come to the second property which we know about tangents. If this is an external point P, and from this external point P now this has become a chord, okay, this is a tangent, it has to scrape through the side, it cannot cut. Okay, so this is a tangent now, and here is another tangent, here is another. So PT and PQ are the two tangents from one external point to the same circle, then actually PT is equal to PQ. Now there is a reason also for that, you can easily prove this. If this is the center and I join these at the point of contact, these two become 90 degree, okay. Now if I join this with a line, okay, then if you see 90 degree, hypotenuse equal, common, and radius equal. So by RHS congruence, we can prove these two triangles as congruent. Okay, if they are congruent, then this is equal to this by CPCT. They are corresponding parts of congruent triangles. So sometimes it comes as a sum also. So remember another thing, if these two are 90, another question they make out of this is this angle plus this angle is always 180. It has to be, because if here I have a 90 plus 90, 180. QOTP is a quadrilateral. So what is remaining out of 360 degrees is 180. So 180 minus 360 minus 180, this one plus this one makes a supplementary pair. So you can easily prove it. For that you don't need to draw this OP. Now what else can be asked from this? Sometimes they make a question out of this theorem. They will say, is this angle equal to this? Yes, by CPCT. This angle is equal to this angle, again by CPCT. Okay, so lots of questions can be made out of this diagram. Now let's come to the next part, the next property that we are going to use. Okay, what is the property that we are going to use now is one. This is very important and little difficult to remember sometimes. If I have a tangent like this, which is PT, and if I have a chord like this, yeah, I have a chord which is, let's say, ABT, okay. So remember, this is a chord, that is a tangent. Then PT square is, take this full length, okay, is PB into PA, okay. So PT square is equal to PB into PA, okay. So this is the result. This is another theorem which says P tangent square is equal to PB, take only this much, and then take PA, full length, okay. So PB into PA, okay. So here we have a question which says QOR and QSR. We have to find this angle and this angle. So let us first start how to write it. If this is 70 degree, okay, if here we know these two angles are 90 from the tangent properties. OQP is equal to 90, ORP is equal to 90. Therefore, angle QOR So we have angle QOR here, 90 and 90, out of 360 180 is out. So QOR is simply 180 minus 70, which is 110 degree. So we got this as 110. Now we need to find this angle. Okay, now how much is reflex angle QOR? That means this one, okay, the more than obtuse one. So how much is reflex angle Q reflex? You can QOR. If you just write QOR, it means always the obtuse or the acute. If it is reflex, you have to write. So this is 360 minus 110, which is a 250. So reflex QOR is a 250 degrees. Then this reflex angle, if you see from this side, okay, I'll draw it here. If this is a circle, this is the center, and this way one angle is formed. I have just made it straight for you. This angle is held up by this arc at the center, and the same arc is holding up this at the circumference. Remember this diagram, this diagram. Okay, the only difference between this diagram and this diagram is this angle now has become reflex. That does not change the theorem. So here if I have a 250 degree, then this angle becomes a 125. So same thing here, angle QSR, which they had wanted. Okay, so QOR we have already found, right? QOR is 110, already found. QSR is equal to a 125 degree, half of angle at the center. So this is 125. Okay, this sum is your 2020's question. Okay, this is a PYQ from R S Agarwal chapter 19. Okay, and this is question number from chapter 19A. Chapter 19A, this is from chapter 19A, question number 31. Okay, chapter 19A, question 31. Okay, so you'll find it there. Okay, so here is our next question. BCQ is equal to BCQ. Okay, here is T. Here this point is T. Now BCQ, this angle is a 55 degree and BAP is a 60 degree. Always write it first. Now we are supposed to find OBA, this angle. Okay, and OBC, this angle. AOC is this angle. We should mark them, then it will come easily. ATC, A and T and C, that is this angle. So we are supposed to find these four angles. So if, remember, this is a 90 degree, okay, and here also we have a 90 degree. So if we can find angle BCO is equal to 90 minus 55, because 90 is made by the radius to the tangent at this point C. So here it is 35 degree. Okay, so BCO is a 35. Now angle BCO is equal to OBC, which is equal to 35. So we got this. Okay, then why are they equal? Because these two are the radius. Okay, these two are the radius, here is the center, so it forms an isosceles triangle. Therefore, if this is 35, this is also 35. Okay, similarly, angle OAB is equal to, here this is 90. With the radius, the tangent forms a 90, I have already discussed. So this much angle is a 30 degree, because this side is also 90. Here I have a 60 degree. Okay, so this much is angle OAB is a 30 degree. Now angle OAB is equal to angle OBA, here this one, and that is equal to 30. So we got this answer also. Now we want angle, now this full angle CBA has become, now here was a 35, here was a 30, 65 degree. So angle, this angle is a 65, angle B. Therefore this angle, this one, angle AOC will be double of 65. So angle CBA OA will be 130 degrees. Okay, angle COA will be 130 degrees. So we got this AOC or COA is the same thing. We got that also. Now we know that this angle with this angle, because this is an external point, from that we have drawn two tangents. So in the beginning of the video already I have told you that this angle at the center and this angle made by the two tangents are supplementary. Okay, here this angle is already a 130 because this was 65. Okay, here then how much is this? Angle CTA or ATC, this. Okay, whichever way you say, ATC or CTA is equal to 180 minus 130, which is a 50 degree. So sum done. So here this sum was a PYQ, it was a previous year question of 2020, PYQ of 2020. It is from chapter 19. This is from chapter 19A, question number 31. Okay, you will get it there, question number 31. Now here in this question, we have to find x and y. AT, okay, so AC is a tangent. Okay, if AC is a tangent, O is the center, then immediately this becomes the 90 degree. Okay, and they have asked find x and y and give reasons. Now here, if this is 90 and here we have a 55 in triangle BAD, angle ABD, that is this angle, is equal to 90 minus 55, okay, which is equal to a 35 degree. So this becomes a 35 degree. If so, if this is a 35 degree, then this angle, which is held up by the same arc, this arc is holding y at the center and 35 degree at the circumference. So according to circle theorem, y becomes 70 degree. Okay, angle at the center is double that at the circumference. Okay, angle at the center is double that at the circumference. Now here we have, this is the 70 degree. Now in triangle, now we have to find the other one also, x in triangle. So it's better to tell which triangle you are talking about. In triangle OAC, okay, in triangle OAC, now you already know this angle ECA, okay, that is angle x, okay, x is equal to angle ECA and that is equal to 90 minus 70, okay, which is a 20 degree. So y is equal to 70, x is equal to 20 degrees is my answer. Again here we are going to say triangle sum property. Okay, reason is triangle sum property. So this is my final answer in this sum. Now this sum is 2023, year 2023's question, previous year question. Here we have a chord AB which extends till P and we have PT as a tangent. Okay, now they want all these angles and they also want the length of PT. They find PT means it's a line, means they want the length. Okay, AB is equal to this much is a 9 and this much is a 16. Now here see which theorem we are going to use. So the very first thing is PT square is equal to PB into PB is this much into PA. Okay, now PB is a 16 into 9. So PT is how much? Find the square root without multiplying. This is 4 from here and 3 from here, which is 12 centimeter. So PT we got as a 12. Now we have to find angle BAT. BAT. Angle BAT is how much? So if, remember, this AT is not the diameter, center is outside it. Okay, they have clearly given center is outside the line AT. Now angle BAT is how much? Note one thing, this full angle this full thing is a 90 degree because it's a tangent. Then this small angle is a 40 degree. This is also 40 degree. Okay, so this should not be 90 because this is not the tangent, it's a chord. So here I have 40. So this angle according to triangle sum property is a 100 degree. Okay, so BAT becomes a 50 degree. Why? Because the chord BT is holding this up at the center and holding this angle at the circumference. How do you do it? Angle BTO is equal to 40 degree. Therefore, angle TBO is equal to 40 degree. Therefore, angle BOT is equal to 180 minus 80, 40 plus 40, because it becomes an isosceles triangle. Remember, these two are radius, so these two are equal always. Okay, which is 100 degree. So we got this as 100. Maybe we'll need it later. So angle BAT is equal to 50 degrees according to circle properties. If you even write this in a hurry, that is enough. So we got BAT. We got this also. Now we want BOT. BOT is already got. Okay, BOT is got in the process. And ABT. Angle ABT. Angle ABT is clearly 45 plus 40, which is 85 degrees. Okay, so that is it. So this was from R S Agarwal again, and this is, so as I said, it is year 2023 question. It was asked in year 2023. Okay, so here we have used that property, that what I told in the beginning, the chord and tangent property, how one chord and one tangent is linked. Let's see the next one. Now this sum is from exercise 19B, R S Agarwal, question 6. Okay, you will get it. So here it's a very simple question. You don't have to never leave this question in the exam. That's why I have taken it, because it is slightly different. Again, based on that chord and tangent property. Here I have a chord and then there are two tangents, as you can see, PQ and PR. Now what to do? Very simply, PQ square is equal to AP into PB. AP into PB. This is coming straight from the theorem. AP into PB. And PR square is again equal to AP into PB. Okay, because for this circle I am applying this, for this circle I am applying the first one. Therefore, PQ square is equal to PR square. Therefore, PQ is equal to PR. Proved. As simple as that. Never leave this question, because very little you have to write, only you have to know this theorem. Okay. So that is it from this chapter of tangent properties, previous year's questions, and also sums from R S Agarwal, chapter 19A and chapter 19B from tangent properties. Okay, so these were the few of the questions, the few of the concepts I thought I must remind you all, because when you see a question you must think of these sums. Okay, so that's it. Please check in the playlist, and if you have not subscribed the channel, please subscribe, because lots of more videos are now going to be uploaded till your final exams, till your ICSE. Thanks all of you. Bye then.